Hey guys, how are you all doing? It's a girl Cindy. Welcome back again to another video. I trust you guys are having a good time today. Thank you so much for coming. So people are asking, why is the media not talking about the 21-year-old black student who was found? Yeah. I read that the family says they do not want condolences, rather they want answers. I read from the comment section, the comment right here. This person says he had a broken arm and broken leg, and the news is saying there's no foul play. This has always been the case. When something like this happens, they always say that the black person did this to himself. And black people have said, we have said that a black person cannot do this to himself. Now, are you telling me that someone can literally do this to himself with his arms and legs broken? I'm just asking a genuine question. So people are reacting to this news, and a lot of content creators are using their platforms to talk about Trey Reid. Please, I just want to beg you, I am going to mute the part where they mentioned, what happened to the black man, just for this video not to flag. Bear with me. Please note that this video is for educational purposes only. It is not to bully anyone nor harass anyone, but it's just to create awareness so we all can see and know what is happening around us. Stay with me. Let's check these videos out.
No, half of y'all don't care, and I know half of you guys will not even repost this, but this is serious and we need to demand justice. Let's talk about Trey Reid, because his story cannot and will not get swept under the rug. 21-year-old Trey Reid, a black student at Delta State University, was found in a tree on campus early Monday morning. He was discovered near pickleball courts around 7 a.m., and the university canceled classes and even their centennial celebration because of the shock. But like always, the police always say they don't suspect foul play. But let's be real. When a young black man is found in a tree in Mississippi, you do not just brush that off. You investigate every inch of that scene, because our history in this country makes it impossible to just ignore it. On social media, people are demanding answers. Some are claiming Trey Reid had injuries like a broken arm and bruises, raising even more suspicion. The family asked the public to not share any graphic images, but they also want transparency, and they deserve the truth. And let's be clear, black people do not trees. That image is not neutral. It's rooted in America's history of racial violence and lynching. For generations, that was the tool to terrorize the black community. So when law enforcement rushes to say no foul play, it raises red flags. Trey Reid's life mattered. He was 21 years old and he had a future, and he deserves a full investigation, not a quick dismissal. We cannot let this become another case that fades into silence. Say his name. Demand answers, because the truth about Trey Reid's death at Delta State University needs to come out, and the world needs to be watching.
The one thing that they're not mentioning is that his arms and his legs were broken. They found him with his arms and his legs broken, strange fruited from a tree. And this happened 3 days after Charlie Kirk passed away. And all the far-right Trump supporters said that they want to take their country back and fight against everybody. After a far-right racist white man unalived another far-right racist white man, a black man gets dealt the consequences for it. And we're worried about having people lose their jobs because they had their opinion about a racist white man that died. Meanwhile, we're still getting strange fruited for existing. Our HBCUs are getting threatened to get boomed for existing. This political climate, man.
So what happened to all that empathy, y'all? Because Trey Reid had a family too, and I'm seeing a whole lot of palm-colored people call us stupid for thinking it wasn't a suicide. Like, a black man was found in a tree. Historically, when that has happened, we would call that a... And let's not forget that this happened in Mississippi, a place that has had over 600 plus documented lynchings, and the highest of any other U.S. state. And there was also a case back in 2018 where William Andrew Jones was found hanging in Scott County, and that death was ruled a suicide, but his family believed otherwise. And I also think the fact that they reported that there was no evidence of foul play before actually conducting a thorough investigation is extremely suspect. Now, had he been found hanging in his bedroom, okay, I would understand how people immediately would go to suicide, but he was found in the central part of campus, tree. Like, it doesn't make any sense. And his family has been seen reporting that he had broken arms and legs, so then how the hell would he have been able to get up the tree? And then also, how were there no witnesses? You mean to tell me that he was climbing up a tree in the middle of campus and nobody saw? Like, Trey Reed deserves the same amount of empathy and respect that y'all gave that other guy, regardless of how he actually died.
Where's the outrage from the media, politicians, literally anyone about Trey Reed, a black man who was by white supremacists on a Mississippi college campus, and the police immediately said that it was a suicide? Because, you know, black people just have a natural propensity to hang themselves from trees. Those weren't racial terror by the KKK from the Reconstruction era through Jim Crow. It was just an epidemic of public suicides. And we can't ignore the fact that this happened shortly after the Charlie Kirk shooting, when HBCUs had to shut down and go on lockdown because of threats. Even though it was a fascist, groyper white dude who killed Charlie Kirk. The media, politicians, the entire far right, and liberal influencers and politicians who bought into this hysteria around Charlie Kirk are directly responsible for Trey Reed's death. And unfortunately, this is just the beginning of a new era of far-right terror.
I don't know if y'all seen the video, but the video went viral. It's Trey Reed's cousin speaking about everything that happened at the school, everything he been through at the school. And he was like, his cousin called him and said that Trey Reed was beaten so bad, he had two broken arms and one broken leg. Now, y'all tell me if this don't need to be investigated. Y'all tell me if this don't need to be investigated. For one, he was beaten that bad. You mean to tell me he was beaten that bad, and y'all gonna put it as it's nothing suspicious? This is very suspicious. Something happened to him, and y'all gotta go look at his video. If y'all search it in the search bar, y'all should be able to find. He gonna tell y'all he his cousin, and he gonna tell y'all how everything like happened at that school that he been through. Even at like times they was trying to it was some kids that pulled up in the truck was calling them monkeys and stuff like that. Y'all just gotta go look at the video. And then he was like, it's so many things that happened at that school that they just swept stuff under the rug. Y'all let me know in the comments. Bye, y'all. And this is for entertainment purpose. This is real information you can look up on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, and Google. Bye, y'all.
Hey, some of y'all can get up off your knees for Ghost Charlie. While y'all were busy deifying him and uplifting him to, levels of Jesus Christ, a 21-year-old black student was found in Mississippi. Both his legs were broken, and they are trying to say that he did it himself. Never knew you could hang yourself when both your legs were broken. So, what are your thoughts on that? Because that's actual civil rights right there. That's actually a hate crime, because all I need to know is Mississippi, broken legs, black man in a tree. I don't really need to know anything else. Yes, this is a hate crime. But y'all not going to post videos for that man. Y'all not going to sit up here and say, bury me in red, I'm going to a rally, because y'all don't give a fuck. Yeah.
His name was Trey Reed. And 7 a.m. this morning at Delta State University in Mississippi, they said that he killed himself. The sheriff's department said there was no foul play, yet his arm and his leg were broken. Trey Reed was right next to the pickleball courts in the middle of Delta State University. And the school didn't file any type of emergency shutdown. Yeah, class was canceled, but nothing else happened. This type of violence against black and brown bodies is so normalized that all they feel they have to do is cancel class for the day. Now, if you're more upset by the unaliving of Charlie Kirk than you are by the of Trey Reed and the countless before him, something's wrong with you. You need to assess. You need to internalize. You need to look within. Tomorrow, tonight, you need to figure out why you're racist. If you're righteously angry, as we all should be, no matter what you look like, don't allow these motherfuckers to pacify your rage and tell you what to do with that energy. Rest in power, Trey Reed.
So by the time I wake up in the morning, everybody who was posting all these prayers and all this violence needs to stop for Charlie Kirk, I better see all that about Trey Reed. They're trying to say he did that to himself. Both of his arms were broken and his leg was broken and he was messed up. So in my opinion, this is worse than a pew pew. That was a quick. We saw Charlie, it was quick. That boy got both of his arms broke and his leg broke. I want to see stop the violence. I want to see everything on y'all stories because y'all have so much empathy, right? This is the most empathetic you should be. Tasia Alexis, you so happy to be on the right side. How do you feel about this? Are you going to advocate? Are you going to send some prayers to his family? Repost this because this is not being talked about anywhere. Go look up his name, go look up what happened, and follow for more.
For the cheap seats and anybody else that need to fucking hear this, black people do not themselves from fucking trees. We don't. There are a lot of ways for black folks to end our existence on this plane. It's not one of them. There was yet another young black man from Delta State in Mississippi found in a motherfucking... We have heard about truck drivers being found in trees. We've heard about motherfuckers just randomly going someplace and being found in fucking trees. Let me say this again. Because of the fucking historical connotation of that and having it being passed down from every fucking generation, from here to here, the stories about what that felt like and what happened afterwards and all the other shit, the pictures that you see. Do you really fucking think we would want to be dumb enough to put ourselves in a fucking tree that way? And the fact that every fucking time is ruled as a self-unaliving, get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of my fucking face. See, this is the bullshit that we have to deal with in 2025. While y'all over here talking about racism and can be anybody can experience racism. Can anybody fucking experience being put up in a fucking tree? Can you? No black person is going to subject their parents, their family, and their friends through that. Even the most sellout Coonesian, if they decide they want to end their life, is not going to end it that way. If we got access to firearms, that's a way. If we got access to pills, that's a way. If overdose, that's a way. But are you out of your fucking mind? Every one of us, whether we will say it out loud or not, we have all heard Strange Fruit. Billie Holiday. And we have had parents and grandparents and great-grandparents that have passed down stories of how a black man was doing absolutely nothing and ends up in a tree. Or is accused of touching a fucking white woman and the lynch mob comes and gets him and he ends up in a fucking tree. And it's a motherfucking shame that I have to say this. Y'all should know better. Y'all should fucking know better. Every time you have ever heard about finding one of us mysteriously in a fucking tree, there's been some outside forces. I'm telling you this. Since some of y'all want to play stupid, let me say it again. Black folk do not take ourselves off the census by putting ourselves in a fucking tree with and anybody. Any fucking body, I don't give a fuck who they are. Anybody that tells you they do is a goddamn liar.
To give everyone an update on the Trey Reed. Now, the initial press release this morning included a statement from the police that said there was no foul play suspected. However, I want to note that no cause of death has been determined and a full autopsy has been ordered, and there is an active, ongoing investigation, including the coroner's office, the Bolivar County Police Department, and the Mississippi Bureau of Investigation. So that initial thing was just what they said in the press release, with zero investigation within hours of it actually happening. Mostly people are questioning the no foul play thing because of the circumstances and the deep cultural wound that goes with, especially in a tree, for black people in America. But there are some other things too. Apparently there was some videos. I have not looked for them. I will not share them. The family has asked that we don't, and they get taken down. But there was a video that circulated on social media at some point, and from the video, a lot of people were very suspicious of the no foul play. Also, someone claiming to be a relative has come forward saying that they got firsthand information that Trey's body was bruised with multiple contusions and broken bones, including arms and legs. Those reports haven't been authenticated or confirmed, but they also haven't been denied. The only further statements we've got from law enforcement is a reassurance that the Delta State University campus is a safe place. DeMar Travion's family has asked for privacy at this time. They said they understand this is a breaking news story and maybe even entertainment for some, but they're wanting privacy right now. And they noted that Trey was a kind person with a loving soul. I will do my best to keep my eyes on this story for you. The most recent update we got was about an hour ago at 10:13 p.m. Central Standard Time.
Let's take a look at some screenshots of comments I randomly grabbed so you guys can see what other people said about this news. You can please pause to read this comment, but I'm going to read out some for you. Stay with me because people are still asking questions. Why is this news not trending? Why are people not talking about it, reacting to it the way, the outrage when Charlie Kirk, died, basically. But, well, let's take a look at this comment. So this comment says, "This is so awful. And whenever I see a news story about something like that, I don't believe their theories. There's no way that they do that to themselves." And the second comment says, "Everyone can experience bigotry. Racism is an entirely different beast. And no, as a white woman, I have not and probably never will experience racism unless I move to some place where white is a subjected minority. Such places might exist, but that changes nothing over here." Honestly, guys, this is so heartbreaking. And I'm sending out my condolences to Trey's family. Like we heard from the reaction videos, they have asked that people deceased from sharing his videos. Anyways, you guys, you can please pause to read the rest of the comments. I thought to react to this and, of course, to let you know what is happening. Let me know what you all think in the comment section. And thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video, share, comment, and, of course, come back for another one. I'm going to see y'all in my next video. Y'all stay safe and have a beautiful day. Bye.